Before I continue with the case of Anastasia, we will continue with the assassination at Manila Airport as well as promised earlier. However, I moved on to this other case, this other unsolved case, which we are going to continue with. And just find the place where we left off. Right. A very important step forward for the claimant arrived during 1926, when she was recognized by Titania Botkin, a childhood playmate and daughter of the imperial family's physician, who said, "It is Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna. I have recognized her. It is the same person I knew before. Only the lower part of the face, the mouth, has changed. Otherwise, nothing." Tatiana has never withdrawn her support for the claimant, and her brother Gleb Botkin, who had settled upon America as a journalist, arranged for Anastasia to go to Long Island as a guest of her second cousin, Princess Zanya. After this, Anastasia's financial affairs became increasingly muddled, and she grew more and more distraught. Always an autocratic and demanding guest, her presence was putting undue strain on Princess Zanya's marriage. Gleb removed her, and under the patronage of pianist Rachmaninoff, she took up residence in a hotel name of Anna Anderson. She took up hotel residence in a hotel in the name of Anna Anderson, a name that stuck for the rest of her life. Now, why did she do this? She changed her name because her financial affairs became increasingly muddled, and she obviously felt a bit, humiliated, so she changed her name. During 1930, after again having been handed round a circle of society hostesses, none of whom wanted to keep her for very long, Anna Anderson was nearly taken over by the professional adventuress Jill Cosley-Batt. Cosley-Batt claimed to be a friend of the Queen of England and the Prince of Wales, and when she was unmasked as an opportunist fraud, the shock to Anna Anderson was so great that she had a fit of hysteria that lasted all night, during which she accidentally trod on and killed one of her beloved pet birds. This was the last straw for her hosts, and they had her committed to a mental home. The men whom came to fetch her broke down the door of her room with an axe. To frighten her, they broke the door down with an axe to even more affect her mental state. To scare her. Once a man or a woman is scared, only the Creator can help them regain their sense of stability. Within a year, Anna Anderson was back in Germany in another mental home, Ilten, where the fees were cheaper than in America. So she was even more a bit humiliated. Though she was comfortable in the home, the doctors eventually persuaded her to leave because from our observations there can be no question of insanity. So they asked her to leave because she wasn't insane. However, they broke her room down with an axe. They wanted her to become in a mental state of insanity. So when she goes to the mental home, she's scared silly. Excuse the language, but scared stiff, as they say. On her release from Ilten, Anna Anderson embarked upon 13 years as a guest of various aristocratic houses. Her life took on a more peaceful aspect, but behind the scenes her supporters were pressing harder than ever her claim for recognition, though it was worth noting that Anna Anderson never pushed her own case. She didn't want to go back to Anastasia to become known as Anastasia. And also her uncle Ernie was after her as well, wasn't he, with all that money he had. Vast fortunes. Her friends got their opportunity in 1933 when a Berlin court ruled that all the Tsar's children were dead, and that all the collateral heirs should divide between them what was left of the assets in Germany. Although the sum of money involved was insignificant, the Tsar had been one of the richest men upon the world, and this case would no doubt set a precedent for others that might follow. With the possibility of vast fortunes at stake, it was no wonder that the collateral heirs, among them Uncle Ernie, Aunt Olga, Aunt Irene, and the Tsarina's other sister, Victoria, Marchioness of Milford Haven, and the mother of the Master Mountbatten, presented a united front against the claimant. The longest court case this century had begun. As the trial progressed, Anna Anderson settled into a house in Black Forest. She lived there until July 68, when she flew to Charlottesville, Virginia, in the United States, to take up invitation of a history professor. Dr. John Manahan, she wanted more peace, you see, so she took up this history professor's offer. Dr. John, they wouldn't let her alone. Dr. John Manahan, who had offered her marriage and a home. Summers and Mangold visited the Manhannans 1974. Anna Anderson Manahan told them there was no massacre there, but I cannot tell the rest. Anna Anderson Manahan spent the last years of her life in a mental home. She had lost her chance to tell the rest. The file on Tessa and her daughter remains open.